What's up, YouTube? Super excited. We just finished being at the Multifamily Conference here at the end of May, and wow, what an event. So blessed to be a part of it. So blessed to be meeting all you people there at the event as well. If you weren't there, I've actually got a summary of some of the best interviews here, as well as what I talked about too. So first of all, it started off with our pre-launch party. We wanted to get the party going on Friday night, so I spoke on Friday along with a bunch of other speakers, and we brought people together at Malapart, which is at the top of the TIFF Bell Box building, and we had 125 people there. You will see us again there next year, but a lot of people came to the Multifamily Conference to see the headliners speak, right? We had Alex Rodriguez, otherwise known as A-Rod, the baseball player, and we also had Grant Cardone, Uncle G, if people don't know him, GC, and he's probably one of the biggest real estate influencers out there. He's all over the internet when it comes to raising capital for his deals and so on and so forth. So let me give you a few notes on A-Rod's talk. So A-Rod talked about making sure he's a very astute business person. He's got lots of different businesses and a lot of different doors when it comes to real estate investing. He was big on making sure that you're hiring the right people. Hire people that are way smarter than you in the different parts of your business, because really you should just be the leader in your business and not be in the minutia every single day, every single minute. He's also got a lot of different real estate investing doors and stuff too. He was all about making sure that you, even if you get knocked down, you're gonna get knocked down a whole bunch, right? He's actually got a PhD in getting knocked down, but he's got a master's degree in getting back up, rising from the ashes, and just continue to move forward. Yes, it might not be fun, but you gotta dust yourself off and keep moving forward, keep taking that next step. And then the next headliner was Grant Cardone. So Grant had a lot of messages here. I'll try to give you some of the best of my summary notes. You know, his biggest thing was like, if you wanna actually do well in life, the biggest way to get there is just to go get rich. And you get rich by buying great assets, and the assets might not be perfect, right? He's like, they're messy. Like, I've got a whole bunch of different doors here, and they're not perfect, but I don't let perfection get in the way of progress. Like, I've got bed bugs, I've got termites, I've got all these different things, but that's not my problem. It's the manager's problem, right? Everything that you do in life for the first time is definitely gonna be hard. It's gonna be challenging. It's probably gonna require you going to different cities and doing different things. So I got a lot of insights from there as well. But at the end of the day there, gang, a lot of us are worried about like smaller problems, right? $5,000 problems instead of $500 million problems. So that was a bit about what Grant was saying. Lots of other great speakers at the event. You know, Jacob Perez talked right before me on the Friday. He talked about all the different lending opportunities out there right now. I talked a lot about making sure that you're actually going to that next level, right? We all have another level. We got to give things 110%, because if you're only giving things 100%, you're probably only going to get 90% of the results. Give it that maximum effort. Make sure that you have the skills, you have the operations, and you have the systems in your real estate business so you can go to the next level. But what I did do here was I did a lot of mini interviews at the conference, and I wanted to give them to you in a package, especially if you weren't there or if you didn't have a chance to talk to the 2,500 other people that were at the event. So go check out all these interviews here. Drop a comment down below with which one that you resonated the most. What was the thing that you took away, the biggest nugget that you took away from the conference? I'm gonna be on stage again next year. Can't wait to see you there. And again, there, gang, we have videos coming out all the time. Stay in touch, drop me a DM, shoot me an email. Looking forward to helping you out when it comes to real estate investing. Let's dive into the video and all those gold nuggets.
Everybody, we have Kasey Wong here. So Kasey Wong is a very seasoned multifamily real estate investor.
Somewhat.
Very modest, but you know, Kasey, you're still buying properties these days. You're also leveling up, always looking for bigger properties in the portfolio, and you're being really creative these days here too. So what are a couple things that you're doing? I love that scenario of like birds in the hand and how you guys are thinking about sort of
So somebody here in the multifamily conference is basically offering a deal. So he's walking around, hey, offer this 10plex, and then in that group of the tables that we're talking about, I said, hey, why don't we ask about the other bird, the other deal that you're...
Yeah, why you're selling this one.
Why are you selling this one and trying to buy that one? Are you looking for investors for your other one that you're trying to buy? So be creative in what other people are doing. You don't necessarily have to take what they're offering. They're offering this bird or this cake or whatever, but I want to see the other cake as well.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the numbers on both. You're going to be finding capital for the other deal. I might be interested in partnering up with you on the other deal. That's a little nugget for you guys.
Yeah, so it's important to be creative. I think being creative is going to be something people need to like literally not just double down on, but triple, quadruple down on moving forward in 2023, because money is more expensive,
yes.
Right? It's harder. You need more money just to close on things as well. They want different loans to value. So we got to be creative, and you got to make sure that you can recycle cash or have partners or whatever to take down these big deals.
Yes, exactly. And dress like him, okay, not like me. He's amazing. He looks so sharp.
This is, you know, you can just be the low key. I'm just a guy that buys houses, right? You know, very modest,
Yes.
and I wouldn't be looking like this if I was.
I'd rather buy houses and look like him.
Well, if I was going to a negotiation, I would not be dressed like this. I'd just be dressed up like any other guy. So thanks, Kasey. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Everybody, we got Jeff Wybo here from Foundation Capital. And I'm always trying to get great messages out in the world when it comes to real estate investing. So many people are sitting on the sidelines, not doing anything. But Jeff, what's your message for people here today when it comes to real estate investing in 2023?
I think a lot of people are right in the trenches doing everything. Eventually you have to step back and do your systems so that you can spend more time with your family, go on vacations. But that probably comes from the first years of doing it all. But there's still investors that are seniors still doing it all. Step back, do your systems, and you'll have way more time to then look for other deals so you're not so deep into the first deal.
When you say systems, like if this happens, do this. Like this breaks, call this person.
Yeah, I have managers that I can send. It's usually just a text. I get videos from contractors. I don't go to the properties too often anymore at all. I just get videos about it. I make decisions about it. If I don't know the answer, then I can go ask other people about the answer. I use technology to my full advantage so that I'm not driving around being a real estate investor thinking that's what real estate investing is. I am managing from very far away my portfolio.
Yeah, if you want to scale your portfolio, you got to be a leader, and leaders don't get in the trenches and do everything, right? So it's amazing what technology can do. So everybody, we have Brady Mcdonald here, and he has an awesome message here for everybody watching on the channel.
I think a lot of us get stuck in the requirement or the field that we need to know all of the answers for the entire plan. Yeah. When I believe the most important thing is that you just need to know the next answer, the next step. Ideally, you know maybe 2 or 3 steps ahead, but as long as you know what you need to do next, I think that is the most important part, right? And then you take action, right? And I think that's ultimately where coaching comes in very valuable. I was just mentioning to you that I was having a conversation to another couple, and they're asking, like, how do we take it to the next level? I just said, like, guys, you need to invest in a coach, right? And then take action. And that coach is going to give you clarity. They're going to let you see around the corners, see your blind spots, and then just take action. You just need to know the next step, not all the steps.
Everybody, I've got Darren Voros here. Darren is heavy on development. So Darren, tell us a little bit about developments. A lot of people are intimidated by them, but why do you go all in on developments?
Well, I'm really excited about the missing middle right now. I think it's something where there's a lot of big developers out there, and then there's a lot of people that are scared to get into development, and they're looking to take that next step, grow their portfolio a little bit. So I found this niche where the missing middle, these like 8 to 10 unit buildings, are really sought after, and especially here in Ontario now, they just changed the rules. Anything under 10 units doesn't have to go through site plan approval, which expedites that process of getting to just your building permits that much faster. So that's why I'm all in on development these days, because I love that like missing middle, and I love the timelines for getting products to market.
Everybody, we got Michael Davidson here. Michael Davidson is a very creative real estate investor, and he's doing a very cool development on his principal residence. Tell us a little bit about it, Michael, and why is it going to work out when the numbers come in?
Well, originally we're going to build for about $1 million, but I realized the mortgage was going to be about $6,000 a month, and I don't want a mortgage. So I ended up basically building 3 other units on the left side of the building, and that will generate over $6,000, so I can live in a $1.5 million home for free, and that has 4 beds, 3 baths, a steam room, sauna, cold plunge, gym, a 200 square foot podcast studio, and 20-foot ceilings for free.
There you go, gang. You can have it all. You just got to build a little bit differently here and house hack the smart way, like Michael Davidson here. Cheers, buddy.
Everybody, we have Milena, and Milena's a realtor down in the Windsor area. So tell us a little bit about Windsor. I thought it was overfished like a few years ago, but it's got some really good things, giving it a really strong trend these days. So what are you seeing down there?
So Windsor right now, I don't think it's overfished quite yet. We got billions of dollars of development coming to a smaller city in Ontario. Right now, we're the cheapest large city in all of Ontario at the moment. Our average price is around $560,000. We are starting to trend up a little bit, but we still got thousands of more people coming in the next couple of years, thanks to
the rents are going to be strong.
Yeah, and they're starting to trend up too. Like they've over doubled the past 5 years, and they're still going up. We don't have the inventory there. We got the Gordie Howe Bridge coming, so thousands of cross-border workers, which is very unique compared to the rest of North America. The closest thing you have is Tijuana and San Diego, and most people don't want to live in Tijuana where it's cheaper and work in San Diego. So I'd much rather live in Windsor and work in Detroit. So
the battery plants going on. You guys have like all this infrastructure happening in the city.
Exactly, yeah. So battery plant's going to bring thousands of new employees within the next couple of years. We got the Amazon warehouse, which is going to bring hundreds of new employees. And yeah, Windsor's booming for sure.
Yeah, Brenda, I know you heard me speak the other day and you were talking about how you really liked medium-term rental, right? So that just reinforced for you that you can get more when you rent medium-term to people. And tell us about the first time that you did that.
Well, interesting because I've been in the business 40 years of buying rental properties.
So you started when you were 5 years old?
Yeah, I know. I was 10. And so I did that first rental. I didn't want to do Airbnb. That I don't want to manage that kind of thing. And I decided I'd do midterm, like a month or more. And, I'm a bit of I love design. So, of course, I love the fact that, hey, I can go buy furniture and make it pretty. I love that kind of stuff. And so once I had that all done, I tried Airbnb for a bit. I got one tenant for a month, but I had a little more success, and I don't know about you because you've done midterm. I had better success on Kijiji and Marketplace.
I do, yes.
Yeah, you do too?
Yep.
Yeah. So
I like medium-term rental because it's like what I call the lowest effective dose, right? So you put the least amount of effort into that rental. You're not like a hotel. You're not having to turn it over every single day, but you reap those rewards of $300, $500 extra a month, right?
Yeah, totally.
Everybody, we got Paul Copcutt here. He does a lot of personal branding with real estate investors. So Paul, why is it so important for a real estate investor to have a personal brand?
Well, it's actually, funnily enough, you heard from one of the speakers this morning. He said, regardless of who people put on the check, the initial relationship and the trust is built with you as an individual. And that's your personal brand. So that's why it's important for a real estate investor to have personal brand. Well, they already have a personal brand. The key is identifying what that is and how do they make it stand out from everybody else who are all going to say the same thing. Yeah. So the more that you can make it personal, authentic, more likely you're going to attract people. Yes, you're going to detract people or put people off, but then they're probably not the people that are going to work with you anyway.
That's right.
So that's the importance of it.
Hey everybody, we have Luc here. Luc runs one of the bigger wholesaling companies in Canada. But Luc, you have a message that you want people to hear. So many people are just sitting on the sidelines not doing anything when it comes to real estate investing. What would you like people to hear today?
I think people hear this all the time, be greedy when others are fearful and fearful when others are greedy. Now is that time. We're flipping more houses than we ever have before because people are scared. So if you're considering getting in, now is a time to look for good deals. I'm not saying getting into just anything, but now is a time when you can find deals. You have less competition. Investors are scared. Look for good deals. There's diamonds out there right now that people are overlooking.
And when it comes to ARVs, do you feel like we're kind of like hit the bottom of the market now, so that at least the ARV is fairly predictable? What are your thoughts on ARV?
Yeah, I mean, prices in a lot of areas have even come up a little bit. So I don't see us climbing quickly, but I see us at around a plateau right now. My bet is that things are stable for a little while.
There you go. You guys do a lot of transactions, so take it from Luc here, gang. And if you're ever wanting to be on a great wholesale list, don't be afraid to follow this guy here too. So our question of the day is, what are you doing in real estate these days? What kinds of deals are you closing on? And I'll have another question for you after that one.
So I just closed today, so cheers to that, on my Waterloo property, which is due for land development site approval. And we're going to be building a 30 to 40 story building across from Waterloo University.
And you're out at our networking event, so why is networking important to you, Evelyn? Like, I know you're a big networker.
Networking is an absolute crucial part of meeting people, networking, finding the next deal, meeting people who are looking for help or potential partners, business partners. And sometimes you meet people and you don't know exactly why you're meeting them. Yes. But then on a later date, something comes up and it's like, oh, okay, that's the person I need to speak to.
It's all very serendipitous, for sure.
Connections of every single kind, absolutely.
We have Taco here from Talk About Investing. And Taco, tell us a little bit about your message, because you have a really powerful message for the world, and people need to hear this, because I think it's important to understand renovations.
I'm Taco from Talk About Investing, and what I've been doing, I've been in this space for a very long time. I have a general contracting company, and we've been doing this for about 15 years now. And in the education portion, there's not a lot of renovation-focused kind of education, and I think it's missing in the space, and I've been talking about it because when you look at your renos, right, where do you go over budget on a project?
On a reno.
It's the reno. Like, where does stuff go wrong? It's going to be on the reno. Where do you go over on timelines, which costs you more capital, is on the reno. So I'm focusing a lot of my social media on like how to renovate a property, because we treat renovations like it's a small piece, but it's as valuable as a mortgage. You got to look at why you're doing the reno? What is your output for the reno? How long do you need this property to last? Life cycles of units, and that's what we're talking about on our thing, and I think it's really needed, and I'm here to talk about it.
Hey everybody, I'm here with Basil today. Basil was one of my students like 3-4 years ago, and it's always great to see how your students are doing once they've left the nest. So Basil, like, what are you focused on these days, and what are you buying in real estate?
So right now I'm mainly focused on multifamily, trying to get bigger with the sixplex and up. I kind of was focusing on flips for a little bit, but now I'm pivoting more into multifamily. Better growth, there's more to do, a lot more that goes into it, so that's kind of the main focus right now.
Any messages to real estate investors out there that you believe that they need to hear?
Just getting started. Find a good community, find people who know what they're talking about. Just get started. Honestly, that's what I did. I got my first property at 20 just because I ended up actually going and getting myself out there. That's honestly the best thing I would say, is just do it, learn, don't get too focused on trying to over-educate yourself. Just focus on finding people who can help you in the beginning and kind of mentor you through that process.
So you're a real estate investor. What do you like these days? What are you buying these days? What are you renovating these days?
So I'm a bit of a hybrid investor because I'm out in BC. So I have some buy and holds that I continue to maintain, and I'm pivoting now to student rentals in the Alberta market is where my next focus point is. I've done quite a few JV partnerships to get myself out of province, and now that I've gotten myself out of province through JV partnerships, now I'm going to do some on my own as well.
Good. Well, I like student rentals.
Yes,
I think
I know.
not a lot of people are talking about them anymore, but I've been doing this for 15 years. But what do you like about student rentals?
Well, the ironic thing is I kind of fell into a student rental with one of my rental properties that had a 3-bedroom downstairs, 3-bedroom upstairs, and I love the tenants. I can actually relate to the tenants. I have tenants, don't get me wrong, I love families, but they're not my tenants for me personally, and part of it is because I crumble at anything that the child needs, and then I kind of give a little bit too much, and that hurts the bottom line a little. So I've actually put more emphasis on who is my tenant profile before I picked my strategy, and I'm giving that more emphasis. And then the other thing I love about student rentals is, you can, depending on where you're deciding to do it, you can do a year lease. Plus, then you got a few months off in between where you can clean things up.
Turn it over.
Parents are co-signing for you, and I love that students are tech savvy. That's how I want to operate, especially as a long distance.
That's true. I never really thought about that, but yeah, they're really up on. My students are easy on the building map. They just log in, they get it. That's how they're. But the older tenants are having a hard time with it all the time.
You got it. Yeah, exactly. So for me, that's important. I want my tenant to kind of work the way I work, as opposed to me having to conform to them.
All right, we got Dylan Suter. He's a serial entrepreneur. He had 13 businesses going on last year, but you're changing there, Dylan. What's working for you in real estate and why?
Multifamily. I absolutely love multifamily. So built a couple businesses and just going really deep on the stuff that I'm doing for myself for a few clients. I wanted to have 10 clients to do 10 deals a year and make massive wealth. So we've decided to branch out into that and have asset management, property management, and our commercial division of the sales team.
Awesome, appreciate it. Any other messages that people need to hear in the real estate space these days? A lot of people are sitting on the sidelines not doing anything.
I think they need to educate. I mean, education's a huge piece. Understand what the economy is all about and how you can win and lose in the economy, because there's an opportunity at all times in the economy. And I would say be a little bit more conservative on your underwriting and leave a little bit more contingency.
From Jag Properties here, we have Alfonso. Is rent to own like something for beginners? Is it something for more advanced people? You're saying it's almost for anybody.
Yeah, we see the different types of JV partners, investors that we work with. Some are brand new, never made an investment in their life in terms of real estate. We're helping them, walk them through the process. And we have, really seasoned investors that they have their strategy, that they know what they're doing. That's what they're 9 to 5 and 5 to 9 that they're doing all day. And they're putting their money into a deal and saying, hey, you guys go do your thing. We want to make our cash flow. We want to make our money when we sell the home back at the end, and we'll just keep recycling that. So it kind of touches all levels of real estate investors.
Cool. Now, in 2023, are you having to pivot and adapt your strategy? What's going on with rent to owns these days?
Yeah, you know what? We were just chatting there. Not a lot has changed. Fundamentally, rent to own has remained the same since it started. The interest rates have gone up, the inventory levels have gone down. People still need somewhere to live, and the banks we have to follow their criteria. So the fundamentals of real estate really haven't changed. We want to find good people that want to own their home. We want to find good people that want to invest in real estate. And our job stays the same as putting those two people together and making both those dreams happen.
So I guess the short answer is sadly no, it hasn't really changed.
Not too much, man. Like my haircut, stays the same.
There you go, gang. Keep your investments boring. Look at rent to own. Jag Properties is a great resource for you as well. And make sure that you're following both of us here on our channels to find out more about great strategies like this here.
Thanks, Corey.
No problem, man.
Awesome.
Cheers.
There you have it, everybody. If you actually made it to the end of this video, you are a true champion. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, drop a comment down below, stay tuned for the next one, and even let me know what you want to learn about here when it comes to real estate investing. These are very uncertain times, but we're here to give you the playbook. See you on the next one.